டாக்டர் சக்தி, நீங்க கிளாஸ் டேக் ஓவர் பண்ணலாம். சக்தி.
வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். குரு வாழ்க, குருவே துணை. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So today we will have an interactive session. I've titled it as Intelligence Matters. And let us see where we end up. I hope people will be able to participate. It is a really interactive session, so if you can unmute yourself and you don't, let us see where it goes, but don't be reserved. Just feel free to interact. I'm going to start with showing you a picture. What did you think the first time you see this picture? Can somebody tell me or type what you saw first time you saw this picture? What did you see?
A rabbit.
Anybody?
And the bird speak?
Rabbit and duck, yeah.
Eyes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Ruby.
Kurui.
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
And duck.
So many people said rabbit and duck. But what did you first see? Did you see both?
Rabbit only.
Rabbit only. How many
That's
people?
rabbit.
How many? Bird.
Yeah.
Rabbit and the bird.
Rabbit and the cranes.
ഇരയെ തേടും bird.
Right. What is the truth?
The eyesight of left and right.
So some people have said it's rabbit. Some people you have said it's bird. Which one is the truth?
Both.
Both. Can this be both a rabbit and a duck?
Yeah.
So, madam, whoever has said yeah, can you explain how you think a rabbit can be a duck?
The way the artist was clever artist.
No, that is right. But what do you think it is? It can't be both, can it? In real life, a rabbit can't be a duck. So how do we settle this? Anybody?
It depends on the person. It depends on the person. If the person have had a previous experience of looking at a rabbit, then that's what he will search. He will recognize. If a person never seen a rabbit but have seen a bird and a pig, then it will be a bird.
Excellent, Gangaiya. Have you seen a rabbit before?
Yes.
And have you seen a duck before?
Yes.
What did you see in this picture when you first saw this picture? What did you see?
Rabbit.
Why? Why did you not see a duck in a rabbit? Because we have all seen both rabbits and ducks, I think.
It's how the eyesight is connected to
No.
brain.
It is how you are familiarized with that item. You know what I mean? If you are been seeing quite often the duck, then the duck will be always in your mind first.
Correct. Okay. Not is correct. Well, for me, it is correct because where I live, I see more ducks than rabbits in my
Exactly. It is what is there, what you have all familiarized with. It's a familiarization, you know me.
Isn't it? But
Shakti, can I give my view?
please.
Shakti, as usual, I will just be a different answer. To me, it is Brahman. You can see rabbit if you manifest your thoughts of rabbit in it. You will see duck if you manifest your thoughts of duck in it. People who don't know both rabbit and duck, they won't see both of this. So it is Brahman, depends upon your Antakaranam, you will manifest what you want.
Excellent. Very, very profound answer as usual. Nice interpretation. But what is it actually, Anand?
I think,
As I said, it's Brahman. Everything is Brahman.
Right. So you are seeing this on the screen. You want to call this Brahman. That is okay. That is also one interpretation. Anybody else want to come in?
I will answer it, and I can say first, look on the right side, I can see the rabbit. If I look on the left side, I can see a bird.
Good. Okay. What might have the creator or the artist? Do you think the artist started it as a rabbit or a duck?
No, I think he meant to do an optical illusion. So that
Okay.
And actually, what catches your eye first, like the beak in my case, I meant it was a bird. And then later I realized it can be a rabbit as well.
So, this is another interpretation. Artist who has drawn this wanted to prove a point that it is an illusion.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And likewise, which way is he looking?
So sideways and front.
Sideways and away.
Like that. Oh.
Okay. So if you put that, the artist, the intention of the creator of this picture, which is to make us think that it is an illusion, if you put that explanation to one side, which is correct, in normal day-to-day lives, do we think when we see something or when we hear something, do we think, oh, it is somebody's playing games, making us think, or do we think it is all Brahman, or do we think he is looking at us, or do we think he is looking to one side?
He is looking to one side because the nose, if you are looking to the front, the nose is not in the right place.
I see. And can you expand on that? What can make you think that the nose is actually looking in the front?
Well, the tip of the nose is sideways. It's not facing. It's only the nostril is facing.
Who else thinks the same or different?
He's thinking front because I am thinking the reason is the nose depend on that the person's nose is little bit bigger like that.
Can he be wearing a white t-shirt or a vest?
Yes.
If he is wearing a white vest, which way is he looking?
It's turning other side, left, right, something, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else want to come in on this one? We'll move on. I want to tell you a story. Okay. This is a real story that happened with me. not very long ago, sometime in February. It was dark, it was raining, or just stopped raining. Me and my son went out for a walk. We stepped out of the house, we just crossed the road and about to get onto the pavement. And my son saw something really shining on the pavement. And he thought first it's like a spike or a metal, and he jumped over it to avoid stepping on it. And then he suddenly turned and, oh, there is something there shining, I want to take it. Once he got it in his hands, it turned out to be an old ketchup sachet. Somebody has thrown it on the street. And we ended up discussing, why did you think it is a spike, it's a sharp object first, and then you thought it's something shiny, maybe a precious stone. He is into collecting stones. And then it ended up as a ketchup sachet and a disappointment. It just made me think how we understand the meaning of what we are perceiving. And in such a fast life that we live, very busy lives that we live, how interpreting things through our senses, interpreting things through our experiences really shapes the understanding of the meaning of things that we are experiencing. Has anybody had a similar experience like that? And you want to share it? Please do. Okay. We've all gone quiet. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can share experience of watching the clouds, right? So yeah, the cloud appears into a shape based on what you think in your mind. If you see a cloud as a bird, it may appear as a bird, yes. Or different shapes. People say, okay, the cloud is looking in this shape, but it's not real. But it comes from their inner thoughts, right?
That is true. That is true. Inner thoughts definitely influence what we are seeing through our senses. And what was your feeling once you gone past that point?
Once we pass through that process, then then we will realize that it's just a cloud.
It's just a cloud. And did it make you happy? Did it make you sad? What did you learn from it?
No, it depends upon how you see things, right? Like at the end of the day, if you disintegrate everything, then we will end up.
I think we lost your connection. Rajan, can you hear me, or is it just my connection?
We can hear you, Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, we are able to hear you, sir.
Okay. Let us move on. The reason why I wanted to share these examples is that it is very common. Even when somebody is really into spirituality and practicing yoga, it is very, very common in day-to-day lives that we come across these things. There are multiple interpretations that is possible, and it really depends on our mindset, our understanding, our interpretation, and so on. So I thought I will really expand that part of how we perceive, and I wanted to put forward this concept, which again Maharishi has spoken about this, in number of different ways. But just to synthesize this, how do we understand really matters, and within that there are at least 4 different stages, at least 4 different parts. There will be many. You can subdivide it into so many sections. The first one, without perception, all the 5 senses and the 6th sense really plays an important role in day-to-day lives. And having those sensory organs in a healthy state really is important. And then it is not just hearing or seeing, it's interpretation. What is it that we are seeing? What is it that we are hearing? And how do we piece all these things? How do we interpret? That interpretation is further, it depends on our experiences, or you can go even further, our imprints and our memories, all our previous experiences. If you haven't seen a duck, you wouldn't see that duck in that picture. If you don't know how variable someone's face, a human face can be, we will only see one direction they're looking. So that experience really influences the interpretation and further into understanding of things. And not only our experience, but also the environment that we live in. If it is in daylight, I am sure we would have immediately seen the ketchup sachet. We would not have seen that as a shiny little thing. If it wasn't raining, maybe it wasn't shining, but we would have probably seen it as just a red paper or something. So why I am really emphasizing this point is how we understand things really influences our feelings, our thoughts, and also how we act. எல்லாத்துக்கும் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், பாம்பு கயிறு பாம்பு மாதிரி தெரியலாம், அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய நம்ம we have experienced this. So please pay attention to how we understand things before we speak or act. And if we can understand and think together, all of these things are how the thought process works and how the mind eventually operates. The 10 stages from sensing to finally realization. And thinking together like we have done so far is something that we take it for granted in our families and granted in our work and within our own self in the busy lives that we live. So understanding this makes us more intelligent. And like we've heard last time, இறைமதன் ஐயா பேசும்போது சொன்னது எனக்கு ஞாபகத்துக்கு வருது. எதோ ஒன்று நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கிறோமோ, அதை பற்றி ஒரு அறிவு இருக்கோ, அப்போ அதை எப்படி பயன்படுத்திக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும். Once we know about something really well, once we understand it, we will know how to utilize it. Not only that, we will not be afraid of it. பயமும் போயிடும். அதை பற்றி நல்லா தெரிஞ்சிச்சுன்னா அதை பற்றின பயம் போயிடும். Not only that, nobody else can cheat us. யாரும் நம்மளை ஏமாற்றவும் முடியாது. So in preparation for this session, I was really thinking how important that is, which is to be intelligent, to be knowledgeable. Is it making sense? Does anybody want to share your reflection so far? Does it make sense to you, what I'm saying? The importance of perception and interpretation is further influenced by our experiences and environment. All of this contributes to how we understand the world and the people and the matters around us, which further determines our actions. Okay, I want to move on to, this is not new, and this has been what ancient ancestors since Thiruvalluvar have constantly reminded us in various forms. And I just wanted to reflect on a couple of things. But before I do that, I also wanted to draw a parallel to this. How we operate there is a very similar parallel to how a computer operates. May not be new to many of you. There is a basic input-output system, and on top of that we install various apps and programs. It's a very similar thing. The basic input-output system is our perception, our interpretation, basic perceptions. And then all our experiences are like operating various apps. If we have it, you can check the weather. If you have WhatsApp, you can send a message or whatever messaging platform you have. So like that, we have to both keep our basic input BIOS, basic input-output system in a healthy state. Otherwise, the computer will not even start. And then that is similar to our body and mind as well. And then what we do with it regularly really depends on what apps we have, what programs, how we have it programmed. That is what our habit. Habit is nothing but what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence can be achieved if it becomes a habit. So this again, Maharishi, the whole art of Manavala Kalai is art of human excellence. So I just wanted to draw a parallel to, again, a link between how we understand and interpret. There is a definite parallel to how the mind and the habit formation occurs and the BIOS and the apps that we operate from. Now let us cast our mind back into history. அறிவு உடைமை அப்படின்னு ஒரு அதிகாரம் இருக்கு. திருவள்ளுவர், I just wanted to draw 4 திருக்குறள்ஸ். Then we will have a discussion. There are 10 couplets, but அறிவற்றங்காக்கும் கருவி செருவார்க்கும் உள்ளளிக்கலாகா அரண். Meaning, intelligence or knowledge not only will protect you and give you protect you from danger or destruction, but it also is a protection from others, from enemies or enmities. This is what we learned last week, didn't we? சென்ற இடத்தால் செலவிடாதீதொரி நன்றின்பால் உய்ப்பது அறிவு. This interested me because Maharishi also says, மனதை அடக்க நினைத்தால் அலையும், அறிய நினைத்தால் அடங்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாரு. The meaning of this திருக்குறள், மனதை அது போன போக்குல விடாம தடுத்து தீமைகளிலிருந்து விலக்கி நன்மை செய்வதில் செல்ல விடுவதே அறிவாம். அது திருக்குறள்ல ரொம்ப அழகா வள்ளுவர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. மற்ற 2 உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், வெரி ஃபெமிலியர் குறள்ஸ். எப்பொருள் யார் யார் வாய் கேட்பினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பது அறிவு. இது ஜஸ்ட் யார் யார் வாய்ங்கிறது நாட் அதர் பீப்புள் வாட் தே ஆர் சேயிங், பட் யூ கேன் ஆல்சோ இன்டர்பிரட் திஸ் ஆஸ் whatever sensations, perceptual organs, sensory organs you perceive, you still have to understand the truth. Is it a duck or a rabbit? Isn't it? Isn't it just so true that the immediate thing that we see, we perceive one, but actually quite often when we think about it again, the quality of our thinking, the quality of our understanding improves. And if you, even the perception, if you are perceiving it in a calmer state of mind, in your alpha state or theta state or delta state, that is giving you a different level of understanding compared to you or us perceiving things in the beta state. It's similar to imagining a sponge that is spinning very fast and you open the tap on it, nothing will go in. But if you spin it slow, you will be able to absorb as much water as it can. It's similar to that. And then the last kural, Arivudayar ellam udayar, Arivilar ennudayareenum ilar. Just having the knowledge and the intelligence, and we will look at it in a bit more detail what that actual knowledge consists of. People who have this have everything. And people who don't have the complete knowledge, whatever else they have, it means nothing at the end. So, very, very profound couplets for reflection, and they can be achieved. And Maharishi has given us not just the knowledge, but the tools, the techniques, the processes, the opportunity to form habits. And that is what we are learning, what we have done today. Meditation is the stepping stone. Meditation is the stepping stone to improve our perceptual abilities. Perspicacity, you learned. How துல்லியமான அறிவு கிடைக்கிறதுக்கு மெடிடேஷன்ல நல்ல ஒரு வாய்ப்பு மகரிஷி நம்மளுக்கு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. And I just wanted to focus on the அறிவுங்கிறது, intelligence, knowledge. What are the three types of knowledge? The first one is faith. அங்க தீ இருக்கு, தொட்டா சுடும், தொடாத அப்படின்னு நம்ம அம்மா சொல்றது பட்டாதான் புரியும். ஆனா ஒரு ஃபெய்த், நம்ம எது செய்யக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்றாங்களோ அது செய்யறது. கடவுள் நம்பிக்கை இஸ் லைக் ஃபெய்த். That is the first stage of knowledge. And that eventually is also important with the Guru, faith in Guru, whatever that Guru is for one. Only then the next step of knowledge development occurs, which is understanding. Nambikai, Puridal, understanding. Understanding is how things work, what we see, and how to earn money or how to earn a degree, how to live your life, basic needs. All of that, without understanding, it won't happen. Unless you're obviously dependent and just completely dependent on somebody else. And then the third stage of knowledge is the realization, which is complete knowledge of everything, yourself and the rest of the universe, and how to live in harmony with yourself, the society and nature. That is the understanding. And the path to that is also given to us in the practice, which starts with meditation. And remember, to have a good experience of meditation, your body should be fit, supple. You should be able to sit idly without pain, because where there is pain, the mind will go there. So physical exercises, very simple but very profound ways of channeling our energy that can help us to meditate well, which is nothing but improving the potential of the mind reducing that frequency, being able to see the CCTV in slow motion, to exactly see what is happening around us. Almost live, but you can also use that to go back and rewind and see. That is the power of meditation. And that allows us to develop the introspection. All the Aruguna Siramaipu, the 6 aspects of greed, anger, vanity, immoral sexual passion, vengeance, all of that, miserliness. That is practice. That is the bios. And then using your own judgment and your own self as the judge, we pass through, and with the help of other learned people, guru and teachings, and practicing that, we go through that Gunanala Peru and then Murmai Peru. That is so simple yet very profound. And all of this starts with understanding. Understanding oneself, understanding others, understanding how our perceptions work and how we interpret things and how the environment in which we live and work and play and love, how that contributes to our understanding. These are not fate. This is not predetermined. Human mind can change the conditions in which we operate, the way that we see. And that, my friends, I just wanted to share that, is why and how intelligence matters. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். We can now have a discussion if people want to ask any questions, or we can conclude. Rajan, over to you.
கேள்விகள் இருந்ததுன்னா கேளுங்க. Dr. Sakthi is able to give a beautiful presentation. எல்லாருக்கும் எல்லாம் புரிஞ்சிருந்தாலும் கேள்வி இருக்காதுங்க சக்தி. ஒண்ணுமே புரியலைனாலும் கேள்வி இருக்காது.
நம்ம அப்படியே நினைச்சுக்குவோம் ராஜன்.
Yeah, it's both the way, sir. புரிஞ்சு புரியாத மாதிரி இருக்கு. விவேக் காமெடியில சொல்ற மாதிரி பார்த்தா புரியாதவங்க புரிஞ்சவங்க கிட்ட கேட்டுக்கோங்கன்னு சொல்லுவாரு, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு. சாரி, to be honest, I could understand partly. I'm not saying I could understand fully, sir. That's truth. அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் எல்லாத்துலயுமே பண்றதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்றோம், பட் சிலதுல பண்ண முடியல. ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் ஃபீல்ட்ல இட்ஸ் வே பியாண்ட் ஃபார் மீ, but I'm trying to understand. That's the summary I can say, sir.
No, that is a very honest feedback. Thank you. Basically, the simple message I want to convey is understanding comes not just from perception, but also from interpretation. So a lot of times we just perceive and move direct to meaning without interpreting, without drawing from our previous experience, and without drawing from what the environment is doing to change the meaning. That is the basic message I want to give. And if we want to really understand things, we need to be in a calmer state of mind, ayara velipulinai as much as possible. And to be in the calmer state of mind, practice physical exercises, practice meditation, practice introspection. That would help you remain in ayara velipunilai. இதையே தான் வள்ளுவரும் சொல்லியிருக்காரு, அறிவுடைமைன்னு எப்படி அந்த என்னன்னு. மகரிஷி நம்மளுக்கு அந்த டூல்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. That is what I wanted to convey. It is not on one level, ஒரு ஆனந்த் சொன்ன மாதிரி பிரம்மம் டீப்பாவும் போகலாம். A very superficial level, just bear in mind that whatever மின்னுவதெல்லாம் பொன்னல்ல, அஞ்சுவதெல்லாம் நஞ்சும் அல்ல, அதை மட்டும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிட்டு நம்ம practice பண்ணோம்னா is what I'm trying to say, sir.
Sure, sir. Really useful, sir. Thanks for that. Thanks for this. வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. Appreciate it. One more thing, சூக்கி சிவம் வந்து ஒரு ஒரு ஸ்பீச்ல சொன்னாரு. ஈவன் there was one blind poet. ராஜா வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு நடந்து போயிட்டு இருப்பாராம். ஆனா அவர் மனசுல ஏதோ ஒண்ணு பார்த்துட்டு வந்துட்டு அவருடைய புலவருங்க கிட்ட எல்லாம் கேட்பாங்களா, நான் என்ன நினைச்சேன்றத சொல்லுங்கன்ற மாதிரி. அப்போ யாரோ அவர் பேர் வந்து எனக்கு ஃபுல்லா ஞாபகம் இல்லை. அந்த கவி யாரோ ஏதோ ஒரு பேர் வரும். அதுல வந்து அவர் வந்து சொல்லுவாராம், அத வந்து ராஜா நீங்க வந்து தென்பட்டதுல என்னன்னா, அங்க வந்து ஒரு வாழை மரம் இருந்தது, அதுல வந்து நிறைய பழங்கள் இருந்தது, அதுல வந்து ஒரு ஒரு அந்த பறவைகள் வந்து ஏதோ சாப்பிட்டது மாதிரியும் அதனால அது எதை குறிக்குதுன்னா, உங்க நாடு எல்லாமே வளமா இருக்கு, எல்லாருமே ஹாப்பியா இருக்காங்கன்றத. even he was blind but he was able to perceive it. ஈவன் கண் இருந்தவங்க கூட அதால சொல்ல முடியல, கண் இல்லாதவர் அவரு நல்லா பாடினத சொல்றாரு. ஸோ இட்ஸ் you are right, understanding is something more important, which sometimes நம்ம படிக்கிறதுக்கு பசங்களே புரிஞ்சு படின்னு சொல்லுவோம், அவங்க அந்த எக்ஸாம் இதுல வந்து they don't fully understand but try to get the marks only.
கரெக்ட். மகடிச்சு மார்க் மட்டும் வாங்கிடுவோம்.
ஆமா,
மார்க்கெட் பிளேஸ்ல
ஃபுல் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இல்ல சார். அது ஒரு
கரெக்ட். இல்ல, ரொம்ப அருமையான ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொன்னீங்க. ரொம்ப தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
தேங்க்ஸ் சார். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
சரிங்க ஐயா, அப்போ நம்ம we can conclude. ரவி ஐயா, நீங்க உலக நல வாழ்த்து சொல்லி முடிச்சுப்போம் ஐயா.
சரி. உலகமெல்லாம் பருவமழை ஒத்தபடி பெய்யட்டும், உழவரெல்லாம் தானியத்தை உவப்புடனே பெருக்கட்டும், பல தொழில்கள் குறி சென்ற பாட்டாளி உயரட்டும், உயர்த்தட்டும், கலகங்கள் போட்டி பகை கடந்தாட்சி நடக்கட்டும், கல்லாமை கடன் வறுமை களங்கங்கள் நிறையட்டும், நலவாழ்வை அளிக்கும் ஞான ஒளி வீசட்டும், நம் கடம் அறவாழ்வு நாற்பத்தே சுரட்டும், வையகம் வையகம்
வாழ்க வளமுடன். சக்தி, இன்னைக்கு உங்க பிரசன்டேஷன் ரொம்ப வித்தியாசமா இருந்தது. ரவி ஐயா, அருமையான தவம். இருவருக்கும் மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகள். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.